Hey, Tyrell.
How are you, bro? It's good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Thank you for having me on your channel. Massive, 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 massive excited. Super happy to be here as always.
Yes, sir. And today I've got some great things to share with everybody. I'm going to be going through more about the Ton chain, giving you reasons why I'm so bullish, and actually looking at on-chain data because at the end of the day, it's all about the data. If you don't have data to back up your conviction, then it's just faith at the end of the day. So, can I share my screen?
Of course. Let's go.
Let's kick things off. I was looking at some interesting things today, and what you can see by what is trending at the moment, and remember, trend is your friend, is memes, Solana ecosystem, AI gaming, and RWA. I think by now it's pretty clear where the narratives are going. If your portfolio does not consist of these things, you're probably not in the right place. For example, if we look at categories, you can see just how many different things there are. There's, things like research categories, transport, education, even launch pads, Moon River. A lot of these things aren't where they used to be, right? Moon River ecosystem used to be a big thing, such as the Polygon ecosystem or the Polkadot ecosystem. But the money's not there anymore, Mr. M. The money is in memes, Solana, AI gaming, and RWA, the things that we speak about a lot on this channel. Now, today, I was looking at the meme coin section, and you can see things like Dogecoin, Shib, Pepe, Bonk, Dog with Hat, Floki, and Brett all past 1 billion market cap. Now, each one of these represent either a narrative or they represent a whole entire chain, right? For example, if you look at Brett, well, you can't buy Coinbase stock, right? You can't buy the layer one of base chain, right? There is no token for it. Like you can buy Ton, for example, if you want to get exposed to the open network, or you can buy Ethereum if you want to get exposed to ETH. You can't buy Coinbase token. There is none. So what people do is they buy Brett. With Dog with Hat, for example, if you're on Solana, right, and you want to get exposed to the meme of the cycle for Solana, well, it's going to be Dog with Hat. If you want to get exposed to general meme coins and bots as well, like you have BonkBot, for example, we buy Bonk, right? And everybody knows about Pepe and Shib, right? OGs when it comes to meme coins. Now, right now, there is not a $1 billion real meme coin on Ton to this day. So that leads me to want to search for the next one, right? I want to find the next $1 billion meme coin, or I want to create it and build it. If you go down all the way, right, you will not see one. In fact, you even see things like, Degen chain up in the 90 millions, things like Andy in the 90 millions, or even Milady, right, 84 million. But you don't see a Ton meme coin. Now, if you look at the Telegram data, you'll see, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. But last time we spoke, we was around 600 million last week. And now we're at 700 million in terms of TVL. Now, this is still tiny for all chains. If you look at most chains like Solana, for example, you see Solana is at 4.4 billion. If you look at Ethereum, Ethereum's 53 billion, and last cycle we was well over 100 billion. But if you look at the Ton chain, right now there's only 736 million. And a simple Google search will show you this, right? It will show you that, if you ask how many users does Ton have, right? You'll see over 900 million users. So that means that on all the users on Ton, there's less than $1 per person. Now, if you go to the Telegram website, Telegram has everything you need to know, whether that is, how to get a wallet, how to buy Ton, how to stake, how to take payments if you're a business, different apps and services, or even if you want to bridge from another network like Ethereum or Solana over to Ton. The website explains it all. But it also has some interesting research things as well If you're somebody like me and you want to do research, there's something called ton stat. Now this goes even into more detail than DeFi Llama, and it goes through all of the details of the on-chain data when it comes to ton as well. You can see things like the total supply, right, which is obviously inflationary right now. You can see the fees that they're generating per day. You can see the amount that they've burned, but also you can see the active wallets. Now, this is what really interests me when it comes to this chain. You want to make sure that you have a deep understanding of how many wallets are actually on this chain and how many people are using it. Because, for example, if I make a new wallet today, that submits to this data. So this is real people who are actually doing this. Now, if you see, it's still the same as before, 9 million, right? Which is, remember, it's only 1% of 900 million. So there's only 1% of people that actually have Telegram, that actually have a Telegram wallet. But then if you actually have a look at the active wallets per day, yes, it's increasing a lot, but it's still only 367,000, which means you're talking 1% of the 1% of people are actually using it daily,
Yeah.
which is crazy when you think about it, right? Because that means that when you look at the top meme coin list again, the next 1 billion market caps are still to be seen. The next 100 million market caps are still to be seen. And even the next 10 or $20 million market caps are still to be seen. So it's going to get to the point where there's going to be multiple 10x's, 50x's, 100x's, 1000x's on ton chain. Now, if you go to Twitter, I don't even know if I have my my Twitter open. If I'm open here, let me see if it lets me. Let me jump in. Yes, you can see if you go to gas.pump, which is the pump fund of
The ton
of
chain.
Telegram. Yeah, you'll see that pump fund, the gas.pump, have launched 3 out of the top 4 trending meme coins on ton. You see, you have T-Dog, T-Cat, and TSE. 2 of these are mine. This one here is some random person, but it's still up there. So it's still already did over like a 400x from its initial launch in the past 2 weeks. And it's only increasing. In fact, every single week on week, you're seeing people move over from the Solana degeneracy over to the ton side because the market is 10 times smaller, which means there's hundreds of times more opportunity over there. In fact, to visualize this, to give you a visual example, right? If you think about where we are, you have 900 million users, right? So you got, 900 users, right? 900 million here. Then you have the 9 million. So you have, 1% of that. So you have 9 mil, right? 1% probably even smaller. And then you have 300,000 people actually using it.
In the
right?
wallets, yeah.
In the wallets. So you're talking, you are, in fact, even in visual terms, you're more like this compared to anything. Barely even a speck here. And we already have 3 out of the 4, I think maybe 4 or 5 biggest meme coins on ton. And we haven't even seen 900 million users come. So that means, if we're safe to say, not even just, not 10%, but even just 5% of what we currently have, you're talking a 100x increase in where we currently are in terms of TVL. That means that there's billions of dollars waiting to flood into this ecosystem. And it makes sense because how do you get $1 billion meme coin without billions of dollars on the ecosystem?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And the data doesn't lie. Trend is your friend. And what we can see right now is on chain, the trend is doing nothing but increase. Not just in terms of like what most companies do, where they open up loads of wallets or they do fake transactions. You can see that on Arbitrum, for example, or you can see that on even Optimism or even Scroll. Nobody uses that. People just farm airdrops, right? I've never had the need or feel to go, yeah, let me go on Arbitrum.
I know what you mean.
Nobody does that, right?
Yeah.
But you can see on the Ton chain, Ton right now is going absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. What do you think of all that?
I think it's awesome for a couple of different reasons. So one, you're looking into some data. So we're not just completely going off road, right? So there are X amount of users using Telegram already. So percentage of that will then equals into wallets. Also, by the way, bear in mind, Bitcoin has been dropping over the past week or so, which means having seen ton market cap going up while Bitcoin was going down, it's super bullish. Because if you pay attention to everything else, when Bitcoin goes down, everything else follows. So now feels like we found some sort of a bottomish. I don't know if you have been following. I'm heavily into these things like empty gox, start selling. Germany was doing some stuff. The miners capitulated. So everything happens in ones. As always, panic in the street. We've gone down to 53, I think it was the lowest. So then, of course, the altcoins are getting demolished. If Bitcoin drops 27%, alts are going to correct much, much more heaviest. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, you can see that we are now into a pivotal moment. But what's interesting, though, is to compare the market cap of TON today versus last week. And we are up, right? So that's super bullish. Would you agree?
Exactly like what you said, where it's like you have those capitulation events, you have those moments. So one thing I like to use is the Ichimoku indicator. I was taught this by one of my friends who runs an investment fund worth well over $100 million. And he says, look, man, always look at the Ichimoku. Always look at it, because if you understand candlesticks like dojis, indecisions, and stuff like that, and you understand the Ichimoku, you're going to have an advantage, because most people, I'll tell you what most people's time frame is. It's this: it's 15 minute, it's a 10 minute, it's the 5 minute, it's the 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
The Ichimoku only really works on the daily, and it gives you a clear example. If you look at the Ichimoku right now, you're seeing that we had a close above the cloud, another close above the cloud for the candle, and another one. Like, these daily candles have not closed below the cloud at all. And the bottom of this cloud is always the support range. These are just moving averages. And you can see we also bounced off another moving average here perfectly. So if you're looking at a bottom formation, this is probably it. And yes, a lot of people say we could come down to 48K. But if we do, it's not going to take a long time before we bounce back up, because you can already see that there's major points here where candles in a day, and if guys that don't know about candles, this is 1 day's price action. This is the price action of on Friday. So it's in Friday and Saturday, we both did not close the day below 56K. Every other day than that, we've bounced. And now you're seeing 2 green days on the candle. So this is positive momentum. Whereas if you look at most of the times when we've been capitulating, you see it's red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, and we can't have a bullish candle. In fact, even when you see some days when we was bullish, we then had straight back into the red, back into the red again. So yes, we still have obviously this downtrend here, and yes, we're rejecting here, but the main thing is that we're holding above this cloud range here. That's exactly what you said, bro. It's at the end of the day, it's bullish. It's bullish because if you look back at some of the older price action, right, it looks exactly like the 24K, right?
Yep.
When we was down here.
Yeah.
You can see we had a similar thing. We had a flat line, moving average bounce. Everybody was calling for lower, and then we had a straight parabolic bull market. Everybody's like, guys, we're back. It's the bull market. Everyone forgot about when they were calling for us to go back down to 15K.
If I had a nickel for every time someone called for lower positions. And by the way, sorry to jump in, but something else super important to say is like Bitcoin has seasonalities, right? Like September is the most horrible month in terms of price. If you want to buy, is the best time. And then June is the second worst month, statistically speaking. So then we have July. July is technically okay. And of course, we have summer. Usually Bitcoin is boring in summer and nothing ever happens after the halving. This is something also super important to say. You know how many people I've seen on Twitter lately panicking? Oh, the bull market is over. See you in 4 years. Guys, of course, nobody knows what's going to happen here because I don't have a crystal ball. But if I look back into previous data, the data is telling me we are far from over. We are maybe halfway. The most beautiful part, November, October, December, with the election in the US, yet to come. So take a chill pill, guys. It's time to DCA now, no financial advice. And if Bitcoin goes down a little bit, as we've seen, of course, alts are going to correct much stronger. But having seen Ton actually keeping up so well makes me even more bullish, because it means, that people are not selling, right?
Yes, I made a great trade on Ton itself as well, uh, literally the other day, because it's the strongest out of the top 100. Ton is the strongest. Like, it's the most bullish asset out there right now, and you can see that. Like, when Crypto Kid's next on the show, I'm gonna ask him to look at Ton, and when he
Nice.
looks at the chart, he's gonna be like, "Oh, so this is why you're bullish." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, because look at the moving averages, right? This is the pi cycle top indicator, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're bouncing off of it. Look at the cloud. Bitcoin is down here for the cloud, tons above the cloud, right? That's again bullish. If you look at the this is the high volume node. So this is the macro high volume node, and this is what people call like the NPC, naked point of control, right? Again, we bounce perfectly off the NPC, right? If you look at the 618, we haven't broke down below the 618 Fibonacci yet. Ton is bullish as anything right now for traders, and a lot of traders aren't looking at it. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it's because they're not looking at the on-chain data.
Yeah.
Whales look at this. Like, if you've got 50 or $100 million, and somebody spoke to you about Ton, you know where to look. And once people look at this and they're like, okay, user base, etc., everything's growing. Obviously, they're making money from fees. All they do is they go onto the charts, right? And they buy. They buy every single dip. And you've seen this, like this dip, this dip got eaten up, absolutely eaten up over here. No asset, not even the biggest meme coins like WIF and stuff like this got eaten up like this.
Yeah.
Nothing. In fact, what day
Yeah.
was this? It was Friday, right? If you look at the majors, let's even take AVAX, right, for the majors, right? AVAX is below the cloud, below all moving averages, and absolutely wrecked, and it's still at the bottom. It's not even bullish.
Do you know
Compare
what would
that.
be, sorry to jump in, bro. Do you know what would be a fantastic way to show our audience what we are talking about? Charting AVAX versus Ton. Because then you can see, because here's one of the most common mistakes where people use the dollar as the communal measuring unit. But when you put assets one versus the other, you can see how bad or good they are keeping up. So that would be an interesting way to display the two assets together, like Ton versus AVAX, or Ton versus Bitcoin, or Ton versus Ethereum, because then you can see immediately which one is going up. Do you see what I mean?
Exactly. If I remove these, I'll keep the 200-day. I'll remove the pi cycle as well. We'll keep the EMAs. In fact, let's just make it even more clear. Let's remove the 8 EMAs. You see, and this was the point. Like, this was the pivotal point, even in terms of the whole entire market. Like, remember, AVAX was a narrative. It was the one where a lot of people made a lot of money on AVAX, and then you started to see those guys cash out. And where do you think those guys move their money to?
Yeah, where opportunities are, right?
Yeah, brilliant idea, actually. This is lit.
Yeah, so because then you can show exactly. It looks like you you inverted it. You
Literally,
inverted the chart.
literally. Like, I wonder how many people actually did that. Like, they just rotated into things like Tarn and into obviously back into BTC and these other assets from these things, from your reefs and your AVAX. A lot of the things that perform super well.
Yeah.
But again, so here's the game, right? So we know where the trend is, right? Now, one of the best investment strategies of this entire cycle has been playing the memes. And even me as an investor, I've never played memes. I've never played memes. Last cycle, I did a podcast recently with one of my friends that remembers me from before. And he was like, Tyrell, he's like, well, last time we spoke, you was completely against memes. You won't even touch it, right? You'd only do private sales and BTC. I was like, I can't go where the money is. Like,
Yeah.
you can't deny the trend. The more you deny it and fight it, the more you're just behind. So I moved over to the meme coins, and one of the best investing strategies of this cycle has been buying the biggest memes on every single chain. If you did that with base chain, you would have Brett, 1000x, Solana, Doge, 1000x, obviously Dogecoin itself, 1000. Oh, sorry, Solana with and Dogecoin again, another 1000x. Boom, runes. When the runes narrative came over, you'd be like, okay, Bitcoin, let me go through, find the biggest memes, runes. Like, it's not rocket science, right? Find nice cuts. Do you know what I mean? Pepe coin again.
Yep.
Pepe coin was a mad one, and I'm still buying Pepe coin at these levels. But look how low it was over here, bro. This is crazy. Like basically zero, and then instantly boom, 400 million in one
Yeah,
day.
that's how they work, right? And like you said, follow the money. I mean, at the end of the day, an opportunity means getting there earlier, prior to everybody else. So how do you play the game? Okay, well then, where are the people with money moving their profits into? That's a big question. This cycle was the meme. Cycle before was NFTs. Then we had DeFi summer. Every time there are things people are exploring to multiply their stack. So as long as I'm like you, bro. I mean, I've been a maxi. I mean, I'm still having a Bitcoin hat on, and yet we are degenning on Wednesdays because this is where the monies are, and you cannot ignore. I mean, you can ignore it if you want to. That's a strategy as well. But there are so many easy plays, like you're saying. Find the flag carrier for the chain. Done. Easy. Brett. Boom. Base. Done. Solana. You probably have a few because Solana's gone bananas with memes lately. Ethereum has a few as well. They're coming back. There's a few that I purchased as well. And then you have Ton, which is like a baby chain that nobody's explored yet. And some of those four you have on the screen are going to make it. So it's a
Exactly.
no-brainer.
Exactly. And like all you have to do is look at the trend, right? Volume indicates price. And recently, over the past few days, these memes, if you look at the market cap of Notcoin is 1 billion. However, the volume right now was only 755 million. And that's with $7 million of liquidity. The volume on T-Dog was more than Notcoin. The volume on TCAT was more than Notcoin. And the volume of TSE was basically the same as Notcoin. So you're talking micro caps, whether they're 10 million, 20 million or more, are doing more volume than a $1 billion meme coin on Ton. So that means that market cap is just going to follow eventually. Market cap will follow. And exchanges look for this as well. Centralized exchanges, they want to find the next narrative because they missed out on a lot of the Solana meme coins. Like they could have done perpetual futures or they could have done spot and still made millions, well, if not billions. They're going to start listing these Ton coins, no doubt about it, because they understand about where the narrative is going. So my best picks for this cycle is Tonkat and TSE. It's that simple. There's only two meme coins that I'm focused on because they're the ones that I'm personally building. I created Ton Season and Tonkat was a community takeover. So we're managing both of these projects and they're both, the top two right now on Ton Chain. And if you guys want to look at some of the price action on these and do a little bit of TA, you can see it's very clear. It's very clear other people understand about purchasing more. Most coins, this would have been the end.
Yep.
With most projects, that's it. With most memes, you see this, you see that, because everybody, it's a race for who to get out first, right? But not on Tonkat and not on Ton Season. If you look at both of them, again, even higher than Redo, which was supposed to be a blue chip meme on Ton, but we've been surpassing them this whole time. And you can see again, same thing, more and more accumulation range, and people find hand over fist to buy this thing. So again, both of these two meme coins are the most bullish meme coins on Ton. And I do think that these guys are going to be the next billion. My reasons behind it is just the data. We're talking, 900 million users waiting to come to this thing. Only 9 million people actually using it. And the people that are actually using it day to day is only 300,000.
Yeah, that's your entry point. That's it, and those are numbers that anyone can explore on the tools you showed earlier. So that's why you have an opportunity, because you're getting before everybody else. And people also love to do these things, right? So they love to rotate profits into new narratives, and memes seems to be the staple of this bull run at the end of the day. And you don't have to go, by the way, guys, no financial advice here. You don't have to go crazy and gamble your entire net worth. You just take it easy. Money you can afford to lose, a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there, and just play with it. Because the best thing you can do is play with those chains, get familiar with it, and then get some conviction. Because if you just go and buy blindly meme coins, you're going to get wrecked.
Wrecked. Because that's the thing is like, it still takes research, it still takes understanding. And that's why every single week on these DGen Wednesdays, you can see we're educated DJs. Right?
I love that. Yeah, someone says that he missed the beginning. Yeah, every Wednesday, bro. Sometimes on my channel, sometimes on Tyrell's channel. So make sure to subscribe to both, because we bouncing off both channels to make sure we maximize basically the audience. Otherwise, we're missing out on either. So yeah, Wednesdays, 12 Dubai time GST, we'll be live for you guys, streaming and talking about what we are doing. There are a bunch of me, my degen into Ethereum as well as Solana, but I think Ton has the biggest upper hand. Like you said, it's just like, it's a no-brainer, bro. No-brainer.
Exactly, guys. And now make sure to head over to Mr. M's channel. The next show that we do will be on Mr. M's channel, so make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications. You should also check out some of the podcasts on there as well. When I first started in crypto, it was podcasts which gave me the education, because at the end of the day, to learn, you need to learn from people who are smarter than you in all areas. People that are developers, people that are traders, people that are investors, and people that are builders. And what Mr. M is doing right now is amazing. He's doing different podcasts and interviews and helping other people share their knowledge. And you can see it. The channel right now is absolutely blowing up. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers, bro, which is crazy.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I love doing this kind of long format. I think it's needed. And I had the pleasure in talking to some of the largest channel. You know, you can see George, I've spoken to BitBoy, like you name it. I've got Carl, of course. Got you. We need to do another one. But I love to have a different angle on, because sometimes, you know, people love to, maybe while they're working out or driving to work, you just want to put a podcast and hear stories and what people think about the market and how you could invest. And yeah, I've got some good ones there, and there is a bunch coming. I'm going to Nashville at the end of the month for the Bitcoin conference. So if you guys are going to be in Nashville, let me know in the comments. Let's get together. Let's take photos. Let's, you know, have some drinks and celebrate life. But yeah, like you said, Tyrell, every Wednesday we're going degen. A little bit here, a little bit on Tyrell's channel. So make sure not to miss it, because I think the best is yet to come, bro. I don't know if you agree with me, but the sentiment.
See, Carl knows. Carl knows how to play this thing, because I think he knows that it's going to be a big shift. He's like, oh no, it's going to be a big shift. Let me get my break in, and when it's time, I'm going to go. I just start doing daily content every single day. So it's like, yeah, man, the market right now is giving me BNB times last cycle, when it's like you was trading with BNB, you was messing about, you made 10 grand, 20 grand here and there. And then when everything hit, millions.
Exactly. And then, you know, me and Tyrell have a very simple plan here. So what we do, we go filthy, right? We go degen into tokens. We take our showers after. But when we make profit, we buy Bitcoin with it, because we believe Bitcoin is the most valuable of them all. But it is also the one who moves the slowest compared to some crazy gains you can see on other chains. So no financial advice here, but what we are doing, we are using those bags, the filthy bags, as we call them, to buy more Bitcoin, right?
If you put 2 grand in something and hit a 20x, you've got a Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like, and a 20x in crypto is like, Aikido in these meme coins. Like, they're coming in from all angles. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, once you get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, you're talking like multiple Bitcoins just flying in from all angles.
Exactly. And you can have fun while doing it, because you know, like I said, I was never a meme kind of altcoin guy until this cycle. This cycle is the filthy cycle for me, you know, but I only have a small percentage of my portfolio, guys. Like, sometimes people comment on my, like, I don't want to say maxi podcast, but I do believe Bitcoin is money. I have most of my, actually everything in Bitcoin, but I do have a percentage of my portfolio I play filthy with, but it's a small percentage. And it depends to you how degen you want to be. There is no manual, you know, you can ride the wave as much as you want, but there are some clear winner, like Tyrell is talking about. Look at the data, look at Ton. I mean, this thing is going to rip. That's, I mean, for sure, right? Like, when you look into the numbers, the graph you just throw, only 300,000 wallets a day, but this is nothing. Look how nicely it's going up in a moment where the market has gone down to a correction. If this is not bullish, I don't know what to say.
Exactly. It is literally like, it's like here. This is what it reminds me of, just up only. Up, nice, smooth ride to Valhalla. That's all that's going on right now.
Yeah. Is there anything you have on Solana specifically? Maybe for some people, they want to stay on Solana. Are you got into some meme lately or something you're looking? You're a
Just Daddy
scout.
Coin. Just Daddy Coin. Keep
Daddy
it simple.
coin. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a few gains on Daddy Coin. You can see it recovered nice from the bottom right
Nice.
here. From here was about 70.7, 714. So we're up about 2x, 200% from the bottom
Nice.
here. I do think it will reach a billion, you know, so you're talking another 10x from here, no doubt, because the narrative's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most exchanges, you're talking about KOLs, right? Andrew Tate's the most famous person in the world. You could do that what you want.
And
He is the biggest KOL.
and it's free now, right? So I've seen a video where he said, I'm going to do like a Daddy World Tour, Dubai, London, Paris, New York. So he might push it a little bit more. I also have some Hoppy, which I love. He's the guy who drew the original Pepe. So has gone all right. It's on Ethereum, which is kind of unusual if you think about it, because we have not seen much on ETH yet. But yeah, that's has done really well with me. I think with $90, I've done a couple of thousand. So I don't know if it's gonna go in the same aggressive manner. And as you can see, guys, $90. That was my position, right? I didn't go in with like 10K or anything. Like $100 here, $100 there. Most will fail, but if you have one who's gonna take it, right, he will ride all your profits. So as long as you have a decent bankroll to fulfill maybe 10 or 15 positions, I don't know if you agree, Terrell, but I think having like maybe 10 to 12, 15 coins, that could help. What do you think?
Of course, of course. I look at this on a weekly. You're talking like multiple red weeks for a bullish week, all the way down, bullish week, all the way down, two bullish weeks push you up here, and then another bearish week. So it's like, yeah, with these meme coins, you have to be ready for multiple 50% downturns. You have to be ready for multiple pullbacks, and that's how you make the multiple X's. Like, remember, some people will make a 10x, pull all their money out, so that's
Mm-hmm.
obviously going to affect the price. Other people
Mm-hmm.
will hold longer, and each time the floor grows. So over time, with these meme coins, that's why maybe going to save it and full round trip the bag, like just sitting there and hodl, or I'm going to shave off a little bits of profits over the time. But when you do those types of strategies, you'll make the most amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. Someone is saying PayPay. Yeah, Da Vinci is pushing. I don't know if you've seen Da Vinci is pushing hard. PayPay now.
Bro, I've played that so hard. I was in Thailand, and then Coach K was telling me about this Pepe weeks ago, no, months ago now. You know, at dinner, and I was like, Chinese Pepe. I was like, nah, a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
boring. I'm gonna buy it. Like, I don't understand. Pepe, like, I don't get it. I just got sent. So yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, Da Vinci's gone DJ. Like he's doing okay. He has the waffle coin, which is doing okay. Then he has PayPay, and now he's doing this battle in between Orc and what's it, Peon, which is going
Yeah,
relatively
they look
well.
good.
They look good. The charts look solid. So he's gone full degen. I think maybe it's my fault a little bit,
Yeah,
but
you put me on a bad path. Put him on a dark road now. The
yeah,
dark and
the dark
dangerous road now.
side.
Da Vinci should join DJ on Wednesdays. Get him on it.
Yeah, he's watching the show because he said, "Hey, I like you and Tarell. You have good energy together. I'll invite him in maybe next week. We have a Da Vinci on, and we can go filthy with all the stuff that he's doing in PayPay and Waffles. And what I like about Waffles is like he has a roadmap, and then when the token reaches a certain market cap, then they will develop new features, which I think is really clever because it works. It works in a market
Yeah, it's
cap
like
model.
rewarded. That's
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, amazing. Guys, there is so many ways you can make money. So many ways you can make money. Remember, the
You
most
just have
difficult
to win it
part is
to
to
win it.
keep them. Sorry?
In England, they call it being in England to win the lottery. They say you gotta be in it to win it.
Yeah, that's really well said. And by the way, I don't know if you agree with me here, but making money is easy. Keep money though, that's a different
No,
skill.
no, it's not easy. It's not easy. That's my accountant.
Yeah, and there is so many options, guys. Like me and Tarell say all the time, you can decide on where do you want to look. You can focus on Ton, focus on TSA, no problem. TCAT, no brainers. You can go into the DGen Solana space. You can go into Ethereum. It doesn't matter as long as you put some time, and you have a plan. Because if you just go on some random website and buy random meme coins, you're not gonna make it, right? You're gonna lose money. But if you do have a plan and put some research and follow myself and Tyrell, we go DGen every Wednesdays, we throw some ideas. That's what we are doing. We are just basically saying ideas. And then it's up to you to dive deep into some ideas. Maybe some that will resonate more than others, right? So it's up to you. And you said so beautifully, Tyrell, in the beginning, it's all about narratives, right? And people migrate to narratives. And it becomes so easy to predict the movements because at some point people will have to take profit. And where are they going to take profit into? That's the question you need to answer yourself. You have to ask yourself, and then you can find an answer depending on what you want to dive deep into, right?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, you know? You speculate on more risky things and you move it to the less risky.
Yeah, that's it. And then money come your way. Like it's a PPP versus PVP. You said it beautifully. It's a player pumping player versus player, right? So those are very different things. Very different things. So you need to ask yourself, in what kind of scenario am I now? Am I fighting with my guys, or am I helping, co-creating?
Exactly. And you have to be willing to, let other people make money, because when you have that abundance mindset, you make money in return. It's a weird way how the world works, but that's how it is, Most people are scared, they're worried about other people, etc., and they're trying to compete. But when you focus on creation and creating great things, then money comes to you.
Yeah, really well said. I completely agree. Nice, bro.
All right, well, let's because I'm on 2%, or maybe even 1% now of our laptop.
Oh
I
no,
can
the
see
battery.
Yeah.
All right.
So, guys, thank you very much. Please make sure you go and follow Mr. M. You can subscribe to him. The link for him is in the description. Remember, podcast is about education and understanding. And over time, you're going to see some great things. I know Mr. M's going to Nashville. So good luck with that. Safe travels.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of content coming from there too.
Yeah, massively. I already have some pre-booked people that I cannot wait to share. I'm not going to spill the beans, but it's going to be good. So I'm excited.
All right, guys. See you next time. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
No